Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Copper Coins Coin Roll Hunt Reveal. E368, a 1971p Fed Reserve of St. Louis roll. We got sloppy stacks in the house. This is your first. That is great. We're going to go ahead and draw a chip. Number 12. And we are going to get going as soon as we get a couple people in. Frostbite, welcome. I'll go ahead and start opening the roll up. I thought I started at 1:30. I usually schedule these for 1:30 and then start early, but I got in here to start up and I was already late. Invisible River, greetings. All right, these look pretty good. I got the first and last spots in the roll since we didn't sell them all. We sold them all but two. So I'll take the enders. Got some nice double die obverses. Let me double check and get my cheat sheet up, which of course is coppercoins.com. Don't think we have any double die reverses listed. We don't. Let's get John Wexler's page up, see what he's got listed. And we will be on our way. Let's see. There are a couple. That's mainly what I was. Oh, no. That is. I wonder if that's the one we just listed. All right. Indigenous Treasures, welcome. All right. First coin for me, which is the ender, or one of the enders. We'll look at the first 10 reverses. Whoa, are these all Ds? Guess we're doing a 71D roll. The roll said 70p, 71p on the roll. Let me look at this coin. Yep. Fortunately, they are the same price. Got a little bit more to look for. See if we got any double die obverses for 71D. Mainly RPMs, are a couple DDOs. Let's see what Wexler has. Be without audio. Okay. Hopefully we find something good and you can come back and if there were to be a double die on this, it would be right in the center on the columns or on the roof right here, but there are none listed. But this is the era that happens. Coin number 2 for Carl. Okay. There are some decent RPMs for the date. And I did start working on packages, so everybody knows. In the next couple days, some packages will be starting to go out. Coin number 3 for Stan. Bottom of the neck. Well, let me put it back on here. That is not. That's the design. These specific years, 70, 71, 72, 69, they wear very unique. Ooh, I'm putting that in the wrong person's thing. All right, this could be an RPM. I know there are years that they say that that's a punch. Let's go in and see. That don't look like a punch to me. So let's see what we got. The first coin. Oh, right by the beard, there's a bag hit. That is damage. Wow, you got a good eye. Good eye. Richard Sappington. Let's see what we can find about this RPM. Let me go to this. See if we got anything on the bottom. Muddled, possibly right to the south, right here. So let me see. Is not RPM 6. It's very close though. Not when I see, but it is an RPM. So we are going to hold it out for Stan. So our first RPM, that's excellent. I am glad that we found something. It's got some machine doubling on it. I believe, let me look at the first coin in the roll. Nope, it is different. This looks to have a different possible RPM. No. Maybe. Let me see if that's machine doubling on top of the D. Nope, not an RPM. We will look at the rest of the obverse. Got a lot of die scratches. There is two double dies in God We Trust. This is not one of them. Hope everybody had a great holiday yesterday. I know I did. Really enjoyed spending time hanging out with you guys. I just chilled around the house. We ate leftovers. Making a pot of beans up right now with the ham bone. Next coin for Sissy. Yes. I always, if I have a question, Invisible River, I always go back to looking through a loop through the magnifier. It's just a tool where you can get, a lot of times the light will make a reflection. Like on that one, it looked almost like there was doubling. But when I looked through the loop, it was very, I actually used a 14x on that. But I use a 10x. Like if I'm searching a roll, and I'll do it just the same way. If I see it with a 10x, and I think there's something, and I need a quick look with a 14x. And this should be the same die as coin number 3. You can see it right here. Of course, that looks like that's even lower. No, that's it. Let's see if we got the die scratches. Different die scratches, so this is different. Let's see what we find on this. Yeah, even like Ken Potter the other day put something on his Facebook group that he has a 7, a 10, a 14, and a 20x. And he uses the 7 for grading, 10 for hunting varieties, 14 for quick checking stuff, and then even the 20. And like I said, I've got a 20 and I rarely use it. But I do on occasion. That is too high. This is RPM number 9. Let's see what it crosses to in 1mm4. There's that. And we'll look on the reverse, make sure the markers are on the reverse. There it is, that big die scratch. And then there should be one from the cornice to M. There it is, right there. The cornice to M in America. So right along here. So this is 1mm4. Alex gets an RPM. look at this other one just to make sure. Yep, nothing. Coin number 7, IT. Let me get back to the chat here. Yeah, always have a backup. Like I say, I'm used to. That's the way I was taught to search, was using a loop, and that's still my favorite way. I do like using the scope now. But if there's something minor and I'm questioning it, I always do look with the loop. And I do like the Bausch & Lomb loops. There's a 10X floating around the desk somewhere. I do use Belomo loops, but you haven't been able to buy them lately because they come out of Belarus. And I don't think goods from Belarus are coming to the United States right now. Wanda, welcome. Merry Christmas. Coin number 9, Mark Thomas. Welcome, Alex. I didn't see you come in. If I didn't say hi to anybody, hello? Couple RPMs in the bag so far, in the roll so far. See, that's the same without the... I'm going to have to look into this real quick. I am seeing something on this. Let's see if I can find anything like it. And I have to go back through the roll because there's another one in here. No, he doesn't have his listed. So this, I'm going to have to hold this out. And I do have another one that I saw. Matter of fact, I think it was coin number 4. Let's see if we got anything as far as markers that I can confirm this with. There we go. For sure. All right, so I'm going to hold those aside so I can study them. I use more than one, Alex. I use a 7 to just look at a general coin, not to look for die varieties. A 10 to look for die varieties. A 14 to confirm die varieties, and a 20 under very, very, very rare circumstances. So you should have at least a 10, and buy a good one. It's okay to have cheap ones like that you have laying around, but definitely buy a good one. Spend $50, $60 to buy a Bausch & Lomb or a Belomo. The good thing about the Belomo is the size. It's like 1 inch, so it's a big piece. It's a big piece of glass. But the better the optics, the better the eye relief will be. So it'll be easier for you to look through it. I do look at other coins other than cents. I specialize in cents, and I actually specialize in RPMs more than anything. But I do find other stuff. Let me see. That looks kind of hokey, but for some reason I thought I saw this. All right, nothing is that. What I'm seeing here is right here. I do think that is kind of like a die flow line. But then you look here, and it kind of looks like there's something on the bottom too. So I'm going to have to look at this better when I can get a chance. Also, and I'm going to put this in the same pile with Paul's and Sereg's. So we could have a rich roll of RPMs on a date that has about 20. Boy, I got butterfingers today. At least I'm not throwing the coins around. Nice. It usually is not as active as this. 71p has a great double die that we look for, but that is pretty much it. There's not a lot. There's a lot more in 71D, but anything after 60, 63, it is always a pleasure to find something. It is more common to have a dud roll than to have a roll that is just chock full of varieties. Next coin, coin 16 for Sloppy Stacks. I think this is his. Oh, coin 12. Who was coin 12? I think coin 12 was Frostbite. Congratulations, Frostbite. You get the giveaway. Let me write that down. 3, 6, 8 for Frosty. They did, Invisible River. On Monday we have a reveal show, and we sell spots in the rolls that we do. And you have a chance to get the die varieties. We attribute them, and if they're worthy of listing, we list them on coppercoins.com. I don't know if you use that website. But then I get them and I mail them. Coin 17 for Carl. Let me look at Frosty's coin here. Yeah, you will hear me pick up the loop a lot during a reveal. Yes, there can be. That's why you hear me pick the loop up, because a lot of times I look at the coin separate if I see something suspicious. And it doesn't have to be a die variety. If I see like a gouge and I think that it could possibly be a bag mark or a struck through or a lamination, and I just can't see it correctly, if I look on the loop and I see it and I can determine what it is, I will go back and try to change the lighting on the scope to give you guys a better look. Coin 19 for Paul. It does, and so does the microscopes, the digital especially the endoscope style ones. They can show like where it looks like there's doubling and it's not doubling. This scope is a little bit better, but this scope costs a lot more money than most of the scopes people use. See, now that's bag hits right by the neck. A lot of worn die scratches. Coin 21, Alex. Yes, and that's why I say to get, if you're going to buy a loop, spend the money and get a good one. I mean, you buy cheap ones to have laying around the house in case you see something. I mean, I've literally probably got a dozen loops laying around the house. But the ones I use the most are good because it's like a gun scope. I'm not sure if you're familiar with firearm scopes, but you get what you pay for. You're looking through a scope and you're trying to look down the center of the scope and nothing is lining up. They call that eye relief. the sweet spot is like right in the center of the optics. When you get a good Bausch & Lomb triplet 10x loop, and that's another thing, get triplet loops, which is 3 pieces of glass laminated together to make the magnified glass. The eye relief, no matter where you're at, you can see. You're not looking through like a little spot. Yeah, my dad was a photographer, and he swore, like 35 millimeter, he would use always like a Nikon or a, there was another one that he would have, Leica. I think it was a Leica. But he had a Hasselblad. That's what he used for all his commercial work that he did, always. And it was, he said it was by far the best. The optics were the best. Everything was the best about it. The Zeiss lens, right? You can get Zeiss loops. You can get Schneider loops too. The Schneider loops are pretty good too. But Carl Zeiss, his optics are good. Exactly. That's another thing. If you get a Zeiss product, make sure it's made in Germany, because I do think that they make them in other countries now too. See, I see something on this too. Wonder if this is the same one. It's not. That's not that. Look at this. There's the thing. See, the problem with this one is it's got a hit on the mint mark also. So that's pretty. This is going in the to look pile too. This might be a new one. Let's see. I see anything. No. I do not. Coin 26. We do have one listed one so far. The way I have never graded a coin professionally, Tim. The way I understand it is they don't spend a whole... I know a couple people that have been professional graders. They don't spend a whole lot of time with it. And I don't think they magnify it. I think they just look at it. They don't study it like you think that they have it and they study it and they're keeping score. I'm pretty sure from what the person, that actually two different people that I know that were graders say, It's not that way. It literally, a lot of the graders, I believe, they're supposed to be able to do a monster box in an hour. So that literally makes them have about 3 or 4 seconds to look at your coin. And from a human standpoint, they always say your first impression is usually right. So it's probably pretty good. You usually know when a coin looks really nice. You're like, wow, that looks really nice. And then you start beating it down after that. Couple RPMs early on, and then all of a sudden they stop. We do have some that are minor that I don't see listed. Yeah, I do know. I think the way that it works, though, Tim, is 2 graders look at your coin. And then they have what's called a finalizer look at your coin after and see what if they agree, they can change the grade, lower it, or raise it. Or they can leave the consensus grade of the graders. ANACs, well, it depends. A lot of people send varieties in for them to look at, so they would be looking at that coin through magnification. Paul Adams. Well, I don't know. I can't answer that for sure. But I don't see why they wouldn't. And that is, business. That's just how they work. So it wouldn't surprise me. And when I say, I don't think they would give that much favoritism. If anything, I would say that they have different graders for the big commercial accounts than they do for the people just mailing coins in. It's probably like everything else in manufacturing or sales. You start at the bottom with the general people and then you work your way up. It's what humans do. That's exactly right. So when you see these things that saying, yeah, they're doing this, they're doing that, they could be. I have no reason or no proof that they are. But I do know how humans are, just like Invisible said. That human nature has it. My next reveal, I think, is on Friday at 1 o'clock. It could be 1:30. And a matter of fact, if it's not 1:30, I'm going to change it to 1:30, but I will probably start it at 1 because I was late today because I usually schedule them for 1:30. It is, well, that's why it's our nature. And, that's like coin grading. Or we'll even go to like football. Everybody always complains when the refs get it wrong. But if they played a game that the computer penalized every penalty, the game would be boring because everybody would be getting penalties all over the place. Part of sports is subjectivity, just like coin grading is totally subjective. It's totally somebody's opinion. They either like it or they don't like it. And your opinion can be different from them. I have seen so many people. A matter of fact, these people that have these big registry sets, I am acquainted with a couple of them. And if you knew when they find a good coin and they search, they do a lot of work. They will resubmit it and resubmit it and resubmit it and resubmit it over and over and over again to try to get a half a grade out of it. Yeah, but invisible, like I say, if they called every infraction that is going on that field, if it, you know, the refs can only see so far. A computer can see everything. There would be stuff on the sidelines. There would be all sorts of stuff going on and penalties being called that it would just totally stop the game. Little clash right there. That was like the umpires in baseball. They did the one game with the computerized umpire, and the starting pitcher was out in 3 innings. They couldn't get, you know, every pitch count was going to 6 pitches. And then the batters realized and then didn't swing. There's got to be human error or it's not sporting. I mean, it's like fishing. You can go fishing and be the best fisherman in the world. On any given day, anybody can catch a better fish. Hunting's the same way. There's a sporting to it. There's human error. It's just not perfect. Oh, I got a little hound dog out in front, waiting to get in. She's going to have to wait, though. We're getting close enough to the end. I can't believe the RPM's dried up. Of course, I'm glad we found an RPM, especially RPM, was it 9? That's a good one. That will have new photos on the site. Unless you're Barry, hey, I'm a Barry Sanders fan. Well, you can say as far as Mahomes goes, it's not just them; it's everybody. You never hear that. The one thing I like about There We Go. That's one of the ones that we have found so far. Let's see, the best one is Dan Campbell from the Lions. I'm from Detroit. Got a die clash, little prison sent. And he said that somebody was complaining, if this call would have went this way, we would have won. And he says, if you're dependent on winning the game by one call, you're not playing well enough. And I absolutely agree with that statement. Let me see if this is not that one, but I think this is this one. It is not. And I also think, nope. Yeah, I always liked Barry Sanders. He made the game exciting watching a losing team. I actually had season tickets back then just to watch him. Yep, it was like that. It was pure excitement. You know, but him personally, he could have set a bunch of records, and he didn't because his childhood hero held the records. And he didn't want to beat, even though he knew somebody else was going to beat Walter Payton's records, he didn't want it to be him. So he retired. That was one of the reasons he retired. That, and he was tired of losing. When I heard that, I was very impressed. And it was only, I think, 2 years and Emmett Smith broke that record. And I think, I'm not sure if he holds it. I think somebody broke it after him. Oh, pardon me. I agree. I agree. Little die clash right there. Hit that like button if you haven't already done so. And Friday, I think it's Friday. Yeah, wait, today is Thursday, isn't it? Yep, Saturday, I believe it's Saturday. At 1:30 we have a 55D roll. And Sunday evening we have a 40D roll. Coin Junkie, welcome. Merry Christmas. Coin 49 for Paul Hampton. Wow, 1 identified RPM. And it looks like there's about 4 unidentified RPMs. Or possible RPMs in the roll. I get the last coin of the roll. We found 1 RPM for sure, and you got a possible RPM, Frostbite. And your RPM had a pretty good die clash on it, too. The good thing about being from that area, Invisible River, is you have so many teams that are close, you can actually root for any of them. I know so many people that come from Jersey that root for Philadelphia, it seems like. So, right, well, it was only the last coin. So, but I will go through these. I am working on packages, so in the next couple days, you should start getting emails that you have a package on the way. But I will see everybody 1 o'clock-ish on Saturday for a 55D roll. I hope to see everybody there. Nice. And I'm glad you could join me, and everybody keep enjoying their holiday. Let's keep this party rolling till after next week. And we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.